I made a video a while back about parents and conditional love, and I want to revisit that today, talk about a few comments and respond to them. And there is one comment that I wish the person had not of deleted, but I'm going to summarize what it said and answer that as well. So first, let's look at the first one, and we're not going to be able to go over all of them, but I'm going to go over a few. First one, a child's rebellion against their parents is most often a direct reflection of their parents' inner hypocrisy. I can't really agree with that. The reality is, whether you have good parents or bad parents, kids are generally going to do some type of rebellion, whether it's going against their personal belief system, going out with somebody their parents don't like, staying out late to test boundaries. A lot of times, that's what it is. It's kids testing boundaries in a matter of power plays, trying to establish that they're adults. And it's not always about bad parenting. It is quite often more about, as our kids get older, they want to test boundaries, they want to exert some kind of power in the relationship, and that's just what it is. Yes, sometimes they rebel because maybe their parents claim to be good Christians or good members of some organization, religion, organized religion, and they're really hypocrites, and the kids go another way. And but that's not always the case. All right, so let's look at the next one. When I get a B on math one year, my mom swears me because I don't listen and says she'll kick me out. Now, number one, getting a B on math, that's not a major deal. The parents shouldn't be flipping out. This kind of goes along with the idea of parents living vicariously through their kids. And if they can't sit there and say their kids are getting straight A's, then somehow they think it reflects poorly on them as parents. Sometimes kids get the grades they get. That's just the way it is. If you're in high school, whatever, um, yeah, maybe you studied your ass off and it's a subject you're not necessarily good at. So I've never judged my kids for doing poorly in school. And once they get to college, I explain to them it's going to be a different experience. You may have more difficulty than you had in classes that were significantly easier in high school once you get to college level classes, and you won't be the first person that perhaps has to take a class over again. It's not the end of your life, it's not the end of your college career. You may have to go an extra semester or take a winter semester or summer semester to get a better grade, but that's not the end. So I don't care about that. The only thing that really matters, and honestly, as a parent, it's not a reflection on me. I don't take it personally. All I tell my kids, and this is what my father told me, if it's worth doing, do it right. If you don't put 100% into it, you will know that. And you're the only one that knows it, and you're the only one that has a reason to be upset if you know you didn't put 100% into your work. As a parent, I assume you did the best you could, and I move on. I'm not going to flip out. And a good parent won't flip out because you get bad grades. And that's really as simple as that. So this one here says, I'm 31 years old. I still need to watch videos like this to understand the parents who love their kids unconditionally actually exist. I came out at 22 and then again at 27. It went very poorly both times. This is one of those things as a parent, I've always told my kids, I don't care who they love as long as the relationship's legal and consensual. It doesn't involve anything with four legs. Other than that, you're not doing anything wrong. It comes back to parents and belief systems that aren't really valid. And I'm going to be blunt about it. They're not valid. Somebody says, I don't agree with people being gay. It doesn't matter if you agree, it's biological fact all across the animal kingdom, including humans. Get over it. If your child grows up to be gay, bi, trans, whatever, That's not a reflection on you as a parent. That is who your child is, and you have to accept that. If you can't, you probably shouldn't become a parent if you're not one already. And if you are a parent and you can't accept it, keep it the fuck to yourself. Get over it. Don't shun your child and give them a hard time because they are who they are. That is the ultimate example of a bad parent. And on this one, they say, when I was younger, I found myself in a tough spot when my college boyfriend asked me to marry him at my parents' house on Christmas. This was a weird manipulative move on his part because my parents made a big deal about not really liking him, and he knew that. And yet I said yes, though, because I did love him. And my parents spent hours screaming at me and telling me if I married him, they would cut me off, disown me, and never speak to me again. Literally, I'm the only child. The pain of having them threaten this was enough to scare me from them and leave with my new fiance. My parents ended up coming around but never really apologized. The guy, well, he ended up being abusive, and a few years later, I got divorced from him. My parents still shame me for marrying him, saying it was so painful for them that I was married to an abuser that I ran from them when they disowned me. Yeah. All right. Number one, as a parent, it's a bad move to say you don't like the person that your child is dating. If it's because they're a different religion, different race, yeah, that makes you a really bad parent and a bad human being. If there's just something about them you don't like, you're still better off not voicing anything like that because all you're going to do is drive your child into that person's arms instead of letting them learn on their own that the person probably is a douchebag and they will get out of that relationship. But all a bad parent does when they do this crap is drive their child into a relationship, just like this viewer, where they ended up with an abusive person, married to them, having to go through divorce, and dealing with a bunch of crap from the parents. You, as a parent, have a responsibility to raise your child the best you can and trust that they will make the right decisions. You can't make those decisions for them, ever. You can't make a decision on who they are with, who they marry, what they do for a career, anything like that. They have to make their own mistakes. You have to be there to support them when they realize it was a mistake, even if you knew it all along. But you cannot or should not act like a jerk and say you are against it or you will throw them out if they do this. No, just don't do that. Don't be a parent if that's the kind of person you are. Don't be a parent. But if you are a parent, you're guaranteeing they're going to do exactly what you don't want them to do, and you don't have a right to say anything afterwards because you forced the situation to go that way. All right, now this last one, the person actually deleted it, and but I'm going to paraphrase what it said. I wanted to respond to this afterwards, but I held off for a few months. But to paraphrase what he said, this is a person with an adult male child in his 30s who the father said, am I supposed to love my child unconditionally? Who threatens to kill me, says he wants me dead so that he can get my house and money. All right, now, I never said necessarily that we should love our kids absolutely unconditionally. Number one, it sounds like your son needs severe psychological help. It also sounds like you need a restraining order. And if they are in your house with you, you need to go out and take care of evicting him legally so he is removed from your house and is not able to come back. Personally, if it was me, I would make sure, even if he's my only kid, I would put a transfer on death that the house goes to a charity. Same on my bank accounts and everything else. Let the kid know he's getting nothing because everything is going to someone else, something else. He will not benefit from you dying. Two, no, you don't have to love a child unconditionally who is absolutely hateful like that. You don't have to hate them, but honestly, loving them may be pushing it. And perhaps if they get the mental health care that they need, they'll come around and realize that they were being a total asshole, and you guys can mend your relationship. But let's be honest, if the kid turns out to be a serial killer, a rapist, a board member at Enron, ripping people off and destroying their life savings, yes, it is absolutely justifiable to no longer feel anything for your child because they are absolutely evil. We're not, we don't have to allow someone like that back into our home. We don't have to support them after they fuck up. We don't have to always and unconditionally love our children, but there have to be extreme circumstances for that to happen. But no, you don't have to love your child unconditionally if he's constantly threatening to kill you and wishing you dead so they can have your money. Anyway, that's it for the video. I think once in a while I might go back, look at some of the old videos and respond to some of those comments and see if we have anything new to say. I mean, I still feel the same way. As a parent, you shouldn't place conditions on your love for your children. You shouldn't say, if you're gay, I can't love you. If you love someone of a different ethnicity, I can't love you. If you fall in love with someone of the same sex or anything, just because you don't approve of it, or I don't like that person, I, I, you have to move out. It's being a shitty human. Don't do that. You're supposed to love your kid as long as they don't do something absolutely heinous. And let's be honest, turning their back on your religious beliefs is not something heinous. They have a right to believe what they want. They have a right to not believe what they want. Loving who they love is not a bad thing. They have a right to do that. Being who they are, be they straight, gay, trans, bi, whatever, they have that right to be who they are, and you have no right as a parent to tell them they shouldn't be doing that. But again, that's it. Enjoy the video, hopefully. I know some of you might be pissed about it, but you'll get over it. And we will see you next time. Have a great rest of your day.